burns my skin. How could love wear so thin? I'm sinking in the hollow ground. Nothing can stop me wanting you somehow. I won't let it die. I can feel you when you're not around.
Get in there, Lewis.
Oh, you make me wanna talk back to you. Say it like that. If I hate you, then find someone new. Baby, but you know I never will. No, so I choke you down just like a pill. Say sorry. Oh, maybe I'll leave. Baby, but you know I never will. No, so I choke you down just like a pill. Get my
Been crawling around, searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me, my enemies. I've tried every possibility, ability to know if I can bleed. If that's what you wanted, you won't get it tonight. 'Cause I can fly, I can fly, I can fly, I can fly. Been crawling around, searching for higher ground. Can't see in front of me, my enemies. I've tried every possibility, ability to know.
Dying on our own soil, calling your friends onto the team. There's nothing for you, nothing for me, nothing for sale, nothing for free. You wanna take my life and fade away.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to SFR Season 5, Round 2. We're back for another round of SFR action. This time from the Yas Marina Circuit in Abu Dhabi. I am, of course, your main man, Kieran Wright 92, joined once again by my main man, by my partner in crime here in SFR. He was away last week watching a load of fireworks, but he's back to watch the fireworks. That is SFR Season 5. The man that needs no introduction, but I'm going to give him one anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the Supreme Formula Racing Commentary Box, TES Swayze! Good evening, Slice.
Wow, what an introduction. What can I say? Thank you very much, Kieran. It is amazing to be back after missing out the first week. Of course, I did manage to get on Twitch and watch that back. There was no way that I was missing the action from the first round after the pre-season build-up. I also, at this moment, would like to take a split second and give a massive shout out to Warder, if he is out there in the old Twitch land listening. Massive shout out. Thank you for stepping in and filling my shoes, mate. That's very much appreciated. So yeah, thank you. But yeah, it's great to be back and looking forward to the racing. It's a shame about the racetrack tonight. I feel it maybe would have been a lot better if this game would have included the new changes that they made to it, but it is what it is, and we'll see how it goes.
It is what it is, indeed. You will potentially have a chance to thank Mr. Warder yourself, Mr. Swace, because for this week, for week 2 of SFR, he's moved from the comms box to the track. Warder is actually racing tonight in SFR round 2.
Well, I wish him all the best. I've seen him race, obviously, in the Warder Tazo race, and he ran really well, I've got to say. So I really hope that he can run well and get himself a few points tonight.
Indeed, indeed. We've got Norris in chat saying, can we sack Swayze off? So that's
Well,
May.
Of course, Norris would say that, wouldn't he?
We've got Cam
Good
in
evening,
chat.
Cam.
How you doing, Cam? How are you doing, my friend? Of course, we've got Noodle as well, following in with the yas that I did earlier on. Yo, 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 you lovely people. No, Vapid, you are the lovely person. How are you, my friend? Are you ready for tonight's festivities to begin? We're just waiting for the lobby to open itself up. And once the lobby is open, we will be jumping ourselves into the SFR racing action. So, Swace, you said you managed to watch last week's race, the season opener, in Australia, as the wonderful Mr. Carbon Gaming TV. Alpaca Carbon is in the chat. Yo, Derby fan is back in the comms box. That was Noodle. But as we were saying, Swace, you watched last week's race, obviously, on the VOD after the race had finished. Was there anyone that caught your eye?
Yeah, I mean, Flying Caveman seemed to be running really, really well in that race. Pulled off a few great overtakes, so you know, looking forward to seeing what he's able to do. I think Leclerc ran a really good race as well, a really steady race. So, you know, him and Cam, I think, could be interesting this season as well. But I think Kislesko got a little bit unlucky with the timing of the safety car, but other than that, should be a good contender. Like I say, it's especially with the new point system that we're running as well this year. You know, I feel like it's really gonna throw the races into the mix, especially at the back end. People are gonna want to push more and give people that opportunity, like you say, with the fastest lap point being open to everybody as well. You know, I'm really looking forward to it.
Indeed. I have just received an invite from
Thank you,
Mr. Don Pot Noodle. Lobby should be open to the world of SFR races. So get yourselves in, people, and let's get this racing underway. As we did mention in the introductions, we are here at Abu Dhabi. Oh, well, I'm not jumping in yet.
Error.
Error. I got an error. That's not ideal. That's not what you want, just as you're about to try and jump into a thing that doesn't actually say that anyone's in the lobby yet. Where is...
There is a few on my screen.
There we go. Let's do that. Let's do this, and we'll see if it works this way. Are we going to go in this way, or am I going to have to restart the stream? I don't want to have to restart the stream. I really don't want to have to restart the stream.
So, while you
Come
were
on,
the
be
topic,
nice, game.
there was a moment in the last week's stream where I thought was quite funny. Is when, not for the driver was involved, obviously, but where I think there was two drivers who went off on the same corner almost immediately, one after each other. That was
Yes,
amazing to
yes.
watch.
That the obviously the two people he's talking about there are TES Science and TM Kirby. I don't know if either of them are actually racing tonight. I'm getting invites thrown left, right, and centre here. I may have to restart my game and in turn restart the stream if I can't connect this time, guys. So just bear with for just a second. Right, I'm just going to quickly reset the stream, guys. I'll do that. And there we go. We should be back. As you can see, we are in the lobby now. We are all good. We are all fine and dandy. You can see the drivers there getting ready to get themselves ready to start the action. And as we did mention in the little intro, Mr. Warder is indeed racing tonight. The man who joined me in the comms box last week, now joining everyone else on track. It should be good. In fact, let me just do that.
I tell you what,
Just because it's easier.
I don't think no amount of rain dancing will help Vapid out today. Not with this track.
Well, stranger things have happened, Mr. Swayze. Stranger things have happened. There has been known to potentially be a little bit of rain in the air sometimes. Or when we get to Abu Dhabi. It's very, very rare, but it has been seen. It has been seen. Christo is on his way in now. What we'll do is we will quickly jump through and see who is driving what. We've got Cam in the Mercedes. Obviously, still waiting for Mr. Papagoose to come and join him. Tom Gorian in the Red Bull, waiting for his partner, Mr. Adam Lee, to jump in. Got Mr. TS Big Will in the lobby. We are waiting for Vapid, who is in chat, but hasn't jumped into his car yet. Come on, Vapid! TS Leclerc and Warder in the Aston Martins. No rain dance today. Rain dance has gone on holiday, according to
Mr.
Mr.
Vapid
Vapid.
not like the rain in this game.
Apparently not. Apparently not. Both the Avataris are in, TM Kirby and Christo. Got Semper filling in the Ferrari tonight. Cal 17, F1 and Kizlesko, both of the Alpines, are in the building. Dom the Noodle in the Soul Hearth at the moment. Still waiting for Antiv Beacon to jump himself into the lobby. Vapid is now in the lobby. That's what we like to see.
Actually looking forward to seeing. He had a good performance in the first race, a good qualifying.
Indeed. Constant Ryan in the Sol Williams last season's Drivers' Champion. We've got 13 at the moment. I know we're still waiting for Adam Lee. I believe we're still waiting for Papa Goose. Drivers I definitely know are not racing tonight. We have no Matt Val 7, so no Matty 7 gamer, unfortunately. Can't build on that P10 that he got last week in Australia. No Science. Unfortunately, his internet has decided that it's going to do maintenance literally as qualifying is about to start. Science has said he'll try if the maintenance is done quickly enough to jump in. There is Antiv Beacon. So we've got both the Haas drivers in here now as well, which is all good. We have no Sambo. Sambo is unavailable this evening as well. I think I know Caveman did unfortunately say very, very late, as in a few moments ago, that he is unable to race We also have no V1 Jord, so another one of the reserves, and just Geordie. Neither of those two reserves able to race tonight either. We should hopefully have 15 coming in and racing this evening. We're just waiting on Adam
with
Lee.
the point system, that would mean if everybody finishes, everybody's in the points?
Indeed. Indeed, that will be the case. It's just a case of seeing whether it is going to happen or not.
I'm told that Surfree likes to try and kill you on this track now.
So I believe we are going to potentially hold for 5 minutes just to enable Adam Lee to get in during qualifying. He has asked for a 10-minute delay, but obviously we are unable to give that, so it will be a 5-minute delay, and then we will start qualifying. So I'm assuming we're going to start queuing up at 5 past. So we've got a few more minutes left to go. But what we'll do then, while we're waiting, is we will have a little look and a little chat, Mr. Swade, about some of the new drivers that we had last week.
Yeah, let's go for
it. Of course, you've had a chance to watch some of their performances. Antis Beacon obviously had a very, very good showing in qualifying, along with Dom the Noodle. Both of the Harseys getting themselves into Q3, and he looked pretty strong during the race. What were your thoughts on Beacon?
Yeah, I mean, I think he was a bit unlucky at the start. He had a bit of a slow start to the race, but you can see he had quite a strong qualifying, and then, you know, after that he seemed to settle into quite a nice rhythm. I definitely think he's a driver that's got potential from his qualifying pace to be a problem in this league, that's for sure.
Potentially. And then, of course, we've got the new Alpine driver in Cal 17 F1. We saw quite a lot of him in the pre-season. Obviously got our first chance of properly seeing him out on track in a race setup, so to say. How do you feel Cal went?
I noticed that he did have a few moments. I've seen him backwards a couple of times. So maybe it was not the best race to try and judge what he's capable of from. Hopefully we can see better from him tonight.
Hopefully we have got... What do you mean open your F1 notifications, Bish? I'm literally in the lobby, Bastion. What on earth is Semper even talking about?
Well, I don't know why you're asking me.
Let's just make sure. Swait, on your screen, I am still in the lobby.
Yes, correct. You're above me. I can see
right.
you.
We are good. We are good. I don't know what Semper's on about. It's a broken driver update. There we go.
Did you just say you're a broken driver?
No. It's the two brothers communicating with one another. So Vapid has said he still needs to hear his national anthem up on that top step.
Possible. I mean, he was one of the
left
top
stick in. That's what he needs. Oh, that. Yeah, it's that. It's the driver update. I've done it every time I've come off and done something. It
Oh yeah, that's
sorted itself out.
That same thing happens to me as well. Don't worry about it. I'll get that killed.
But after this race, we'll go back in and it will still be there. So, but it's fine. So I believe we are going to hold for 5 minutes. Why did that not work? That's why that didn't work, because for some reason the sound alerts... Oh wait, we deactivated them last week, didn't we? Because they went and bugged. Yeah, because Bastion last week, or not last week, a couple of weeks back, for race 0 in Brazil, people started playing them and then they stacked on top of one another, and it was very, very off-putting for myself and Swayze to try and commentate over the top of. So we have deactivated them for now until such a point where we can get everything working properly, and then we will be all good. So what I might actually do is... Can I do it from this end? I should be able to do it from this end.
Give you that chance to build up some channel points, then, bro.
It will indeed give you a chance to build up some channel points. No, okay, it's not going to do it that way. Balls. Yeah, that's fine. That's loaded up on the right one. This is the plus side of me streaming through the Xbox rather than through the PC, because the PC doesn't want to work. We are able to sort everything out properly. I mean, I don't need to do it, but I'll do it anyway. I will thank myself for the resub. I will say that is a 6-month resub, as in I have subscribed to the SFR channel for the next 6 months. So thank you, me, for my continued support to Supreme Formula Racing.
Thank you,
greatly appreciated. Are the sound alerts working? No, Bastion. Sound alerts are not working. Sound alerts will not work. I'm going to deactivate the sound alerts now.
Deactivation complete.
I'm going to deactivate the sound alerts, so just bear with.
It looks like the drivers are starting to ready up.
The drivers are indeed starting to ready up. We've had the two main guys ready up. We are at 5 past, so it would make sense that that is the case. So let's turn off all of those custom rewards. There we go. We've got everything else that should be working perfectly fine. No, Semper, you will not have the alert. No, you will not have the alert. Is it on or not? It is not on. You do not have the alert. You do not have the alert, Semper. So I believe that Mr. Papagoose is going to join potentially during qualifying if he has finished work. I don't know for sure whether he has finished work or nay. But Adam Lee, I know, is going to be joining partway through qualifying. So here we go. Good old Kimmy, indeed. Good old Kimmy, indeed, Mr. Semper. Looking to see you potentially channel your inner Kimi Raikkonen, seeing as you are in a Ferrari. So try and channel the Kimi Raikkonen in the bold and get those good performances out. Vapid has asked, is the lobby on nighttime for this race? Well, it should be. My Xbox turned off. Oh, rip. Right, track map, up. Lap data, up. Tyres, up. Here we go. Q1. Gatton will be 5. There we go. So we have got Mr. Goose coming in about 5 minutes' time. Hopefully, Mr. Adam Lee will be doing something very, very similar. So we should be good, and we should have a 17-man grid for this evening's race. Plus, good. It's what we like. Interestingly, no one going out early in Q1 twice.
Well, I mean, obviously.
But apparently, Kirby fitting a set of intermediate tyres.
Because Let's Go is on the move. He is going straight out on the softs by the look of it.
He is indeed, and we have lost 2nd place apparently as well.
Doesn't it?
we have a 15-man lobby, but only 14 cars showing, and apparently no one in 2nd.
What? So who's the invisible one?
I don't quite know, if I'm honest. Right, why is this being laggy? Or is it being laggy? It's not being laggy, it's my end that's looking laggy, it's not actually being laggy.
On when you want to open it up, it's actually like someone dropped out or something.
That is very, very strange. But it's all good. I can see that we aren't lagging, so we are all fine and dandy. On with Kiz Let's Go, obviously someone that you You picked early on, Sways, as someone to watch out for, especially last week in Australia. Just missed out on that podium. He's someone that you've
He was
got your eye
looking
on.
good mid-season, you know, in the early season testing. He was showing strong pace. I know he wasn't there for the race, but you know, in the pre-season at Bahrain, he was looking really strong.
He was indeed. We'll jump on board with Kizlesko as he starts his lap. And we'll just sort of see what the benchmark time is for people to try and see if they can get in this first qualifying session. Hopefully Christo has remembered that we are in Q1 and it's not a short quali, so he doesn't go out on those medium tyres. I don't know whether my screen is deceiving me or not, but
No.
Mr. Swades, could you pop down to Kirby and
It
see
does
whether
say
he
he's
is
on an
indeed
outlap.
on track on Inters?
Just say he's on an outlap on Inters, and when I go on board, they are showing as Inters. They look exactly like Intertread. They are green on the outside. They have the diamond shape pattern. But I think he is going back into the pit.
He has gone back into the pits now. As TM Kirby. It's a very, very strange and interesting decision there by Kirby, I will say. But we will leave that to the powers that
And
be
now he's retired.
to do with that. And now he's retired from the session. Obviously, with only... It says 15 cars, but I believe we can only count 14, so he is guaranteed to get through to the next qualifying session.
Yep.
But even still, it's a bit of a
Might be
strange
why he
decision,
ran a
but
slow
hey ho.
session, to be honest, as well.
Potentially, but we will move off that topic now as we watch Kizlesko come around the final corner here.
Oh,
That's
hang on a
the
minute. I just wanted
Marina
to check the
circuit.
chat there, Karen, because GS the Work has been in the chat saying Kirby just gave himself a quali ban.
He has indeed. That is something to keep an eye on. Dom the Noodle has retired from the session. Has Dom the Noodle crashed? I think Dom the Noodle's crashed.
There is a yellow flag at the end of the pit lane.
Dom the Noodle has crashed. Oh dear, Noodle.
Definitely
Oh
would not be
dear,
taking part
oh
any
dear.
further in there.
Oh dear, Mr. Noodle.
It's a bit embarrassing, isn't it?
He has had a little bit of a crash. That's not ideal.
Well, to be fair, I have driven that house and it probably decided, oh, here's a corner, let's get rid of the downforce halfway through it.
Tom Corian now about to cross the line and start his hot lap here in Abu Dhabi.
Because let's go at the moment.
It was a 35.8 from Kizlesko. Time to beat so far. Let's see what sort of time Mr. Tom Gorian can get himself up to. 17.448 for that first sector. Looking pretty strong in that Red Bull, it must be said. Got a yellow flag in sector 1. Was that sector 1? No, sorry, sector 2.
It's just Gareth driving on the letting people go. He's on an outlap at the moment.
Yeah, not a problem. Tom Gorian comes down the DRS straight now into the first of, well, the second technically of the chicanes here in Abu Dhabi. Taking that very, very smoothly now on the run up to the third and final of these chicanes. A 57.770 for sector 2. Looking very, very strong here by Tom Gorian. Doesn't want to run those curves too much because they will end up wanting to hurt you, or worse, invalidating your lap time. I don't know whether you know what, I'm not sure what's worse actually there. So what would you say is worse? Running the curb and invalidating a lap time, or hitting a curb and getting sent to space?
Probably the second one, because at least if you've got no damage, you can go again.
Whoa, on the note of being sent to space, Tom Gorian gets onto one of those curbs.
I'll tell you what,
Just aforementioned.
It's just about to come round.
as Beacon goes 1:35.6, goes fastest time of the session so far. It's a 1:40.4 for Tom Gorian.
Mr. Water Zero just started a flying lap.
He has indeed.
Edging
Christo
on the
has
curves there.
unfortunately invalidated. Cal is
Woo.
on a lap.
Water's just toying with the death button then.
Swayze is watching Water. We are watching Cal 17 F1 in the other Alpine. We've seen his teammate Kizlesko put in a 35.8. What sort of time can Cal put in a reply? It's a 37.6 from Cal. It is enough for P3. Right, so jump down. We'll see who is where on track. Think Semper is on an outlap, so it's going to. Semper's going very, very slowly on an outlap. So I think Water is going to be the person to keep an eye on now.
I mean, he's on a lap,
He's
but
gonna
I've
be
got
the
to say,
next person
his
on a hot
DRS,
lap.
his ERS doesn't seem to be going down at all, so I'm not sure whether it's actually on.
So, I can confirm that is the case. There's a yellow flag in Sector 3. That is going to be the Ferrari of Semper. Just moving out of the way of cars around him.
I don't know if Warden knows or not. Maybe he had it on none from his outlap and forgot to turn it back on just before he started his hot lap.
Potentially. We'll see what sort of time Water is able to set on those soft tyres. It comes around the final corner now. Water comes across the line. A 38.1 from Mr. Water. Very, very strong lap there from G. I think he'll be happy with that.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how much running he's had at Abu Dhabi. So.
Oh, that's a lot nicer line this time. Oh yeah, he's got to be up at least 2 temps already.
We shall see.
The purple is Sector 1, I believe. It was a lot smoother. He didn't have the moment that time.
See what Semper can do as he comes up to the DRS rate. Again, another person not utilising the ERS. ERS not active on Semper HD's car. So maybe not wanting to burn out that battery just yet. Going to hang fire for just a bit.
Going down.
All that. I'm going to go more on the fact that they're just not using it because of the number of people in the session at the moment. Obviously, all drivers should theoretically go through, potentially with the exception of Dom the Noodle, who of course has crashed out of the session. We'll see what Semper can do now as he comes up to Sector 3. There is a half there of anti-beacon just ahead.
No, and I think Water's definitely going to improve.
Up to Water.
37.
He does. 37.6.
Good lap time from Water there. I mean, that's a second improvement there, wasn't it? Thereabouts.
There or thereabouts, and by comparison, Semper goes P5 with a 140.0. It's at CES Big Will now. On his way up through Sector 3. Comes around the final corner now. Big Will up to the line, puts himself P3 with a 136.3. Very, very strong lap there by Mr. Big Will in the McLaren car there. We got next on track. It's going to be.
I think it's anti-beacon, but I think it's invalidated.
The next one on track. There is Mr. Papagoose. We have just obtained the other one of our Mercedes drivers, which is
Speaking of Mercedes, Cam is out there on a lap. He is just coming to the end of Sector 2.
Yes, indeed. We will jump on board with Cam. 58.3 for the second sector split. He's a little bit down on what Kizlesko and Beacon were on, and he has invalidated now. That third chicane decides to hurt him.
Behind him.
Looking good. Let's see what Vap is able to do in the other McLaren. There we go. We now actually have 15 in the lobby properly. Now we actually have numbers 1 to 15. Not gonna lie, I didn't even realise the ERS was off. There we go. Semper didn't actually realise that his ERS was off.
I mean, it's a sensible thing to do. I do it as well, Kieran. You know, on the outlap, just turning it off so that you're not wasting any. It's all there for when you come around to start your.
Whoo! There's Vapid.
That's a good lap from Vapid. Good.
There is Vapid. 35-2. Will coming into the pits. Will is indeed coming into the pits. Semper, I think, is going to do the same. Oh, Sways. Sways. Your time could potentially be very, very soon. Your favourite driver is out on track on an outlap.
I do love to watch him. I feel like I learn a lot from the way he just not the way he drives as such, but just with his lines. He's got a very unique line to make the car so smooth and maintain such a high speed through the corner with how much of his track usage. Especially when you're running on strict. It's you want to find out the limit without getting done. There it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a very, very good point being made there by my broadcast colleague, Mr. T. Swayze. Obviously, the first time that Swayze and I have jumped into the comms box for League Racing, Gareth. That was almost very much death for Mr. Warder there. Cam's going to dive into the pits. Whoo, that was
I mean,
a very big brown trouser moment there from Mr. Gareth there. Jeez.
It's my belief. I feel Warder is just burn that set out completely, get as many laps on, get a bit of track time during Q1. He's through he knows he's going to be in Q2 at this point. So, it's a time for him to be able to get a bit of track time. The set's gone anyway, so why not?
Let's have a watch. Semper, does he improve? Semper does improve, goes P5 with a 136.9. Who else have we got? Is that Papa Goose? It is Papa Goose. Coming through sector 3 now. Apparently on a near 3-minute lap time. Somehow don't think that's correct, as Papa Goose invalidates his lap, which isn't ideal. So we'll jump back to Constant Ryan. Of course, last season's Drivers' Champion. Winner of Season 4. Swayze just mesmerised by the gears at which Constant Ryan takes these corners, as Tom Gorian dips himself into the 34s now. A 34.958 there by Tom Gorian in the Red Bull. Very, very strong drive from him.
We're going to go faster.
Here we go. Last season's Drivers' Champion approaching the final 2 corners now. Does Swayze get to say his favourite line?
It's just Constant Ryan doing Constant Ryan things with a 1:34.4. He's a good half a second faster at the moment.
And there is Swayze's favourite line. Didn't get to say it last week because he wasn't in the comms box. Able to say it this week though. Let's see who we've got around on track. Semper is very much on a slow lap.
Cam is back out there on that lap.
Mr. Leclerc. Mr. Leclerc is about to start a lap now. Christo and Papa Goose yet to set lap times along with Cam. All these guys still requiring themselves to set lap times here in Q1. All of these drivers should go through though into Q2, with the exception of Don the Noodle, who I have a very funny feeling
on the lap, or he's actually invalidated. Showing is invalidated.
He has invalidated. Leclerc has indeed invalidated his lap, as had Goose.
Is he going to get round? He is going to get round just.
He should get round just in time, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue for Leclerc. Christo is still obviously in the pits, so Christo's not looking to come back out at all. It keeps turning people's ERS off. So there's another issue with the game. Lovely! Just what we want. So we've got Mr. Leclerc on an invalidated lap. Papa Goose starting his final flying lap. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3. Is that Constant Ryan diving into the pits? It is indeed Constant Ryan
I shall be
diving
right back.
into the pits. Not a problem. So Swayze has disappeared for just a moment, so unfortunately you are stuck with me, SFR family. Hopefully that's not too horrific. So we'll see as TS Leclerc. We'll see what the lap time would have been anyway. So it would have been a 38.5 by TS Leclerc, so it would have actually been the slowest time of the session so far. But he's just going to go around, do another little reconnaissance lap, just get himself used to where the turning points are and everything like that. Who's further ahead? Cam is further ahead than Papa Goose. So the flag has now dropped here for Q1. We'll see what Cam can do. Cam crosses the line, goes P6 with a 136.301. Let's have a see what Mr. Papa Goose can get up to in reply to his teammate.
See, Leclerc's invalidated again.
Goes across the line, a 136.313. That is enough for P7. Just behind his teammate there. And indeed, Mr. Leclerc has invalidated his lap time once again. But as we say, he should be through. The only casualty from this session should be Don the Noodle. Obviously, the one driver who did unfortunately have a little collision with a wall. Which is not ideal.
Definitely not.
The Noodle fashion. So he will be starting from the back of the grid, which I don't know whether he'll enjoy that or not, if I'm honest.
It's quite a hard track to overtake here, I think. I mean, you've got the straights, but other than that, it's definitely through sector 3. I don't think there's many opportunities. You can maybe get on the exit of 2 if you can get a nice run into the chicane there, but it's a brave man to go 2 by 2 through there.
It is indeed, but that is going to bring us to the end of Q1. Cam's in chat. No ERS from me, so a lot more time to find. So I think a lot of people there, Sways, in Q1 didn't utilise their
Yeah, it didn't. Like I said, there was a few that I've seen there still saying 100% not being used.
Yeah, didn't utilise any of their ERS, but Constant Ryan did Constant Ryan things in normal Constant Ryan fashion.
Half a second ahead of Tom Gordon at the moment.
Indeed. Tom Gordon, Vapid, Antiv, Kizlesko, Cam, Goose, Will, Semper, Warder, Cal, Leclerc, Christo, Kirby, and of course Noodle crashes out, so is the one casualty from Q1. So we will only have 14 going into Q2. So we will then lose 4, and then we will have our top 10 shootout from there. So with Noodle starting from the back of the pack, Mr. Sways, how tough do you think it's going to be for Noodle to try and make those overtakes come the race?
I mean, I think the start's going to be critical. He's going to need not to get caught up in anything where people are bunching up through the first two or three opening corners. The last thing you need starting from the back is more damage, because it's just going to put you further back. And like I said, it's going to be hard to overtake. I feel like you might only get the chance through the DRS. I definitely don't see any overtakes coming in sector 3. You might get the odd one in 1, but other than that, I feel like most of it will come in 2. Which is only going to give you, like I say, one shot at it a lap, isn't it, really?
There you go, you've heard it there first from Mr. Swayze. Noodle is in chat, he's saying safest place to be, so he seems to be...
Yeah, if you lift off the throttle and wait for everyone to go through, yeah, for sure.
He's not too concerned about being at the back of the pack. Semper has followed up with tell that to Matapin. we'll see what happens there, as I have to just very briefly adjust my mic.
Apologies for wasted no time in getting straight out there in Q2.
Indeed. He's getting himself out there nice and early with a big gap either side of him as well. So lots and lots of clean air for Kizlersko to play with.
I feel like clean air is a massive thing here. I don't, the tour I feel can be powerful, but as long as they're out of the way, by the time it gets to Sector 3, you don't really want another car distracting you there in Sector 3.
Very, very true, Mr. Swayze. And we'll see what sort of time Kizlersko is able to hit as he gets ready to cross the line. Of course, this is the session where the guys in the top 10 will start the race on whichever tyres they set their fastest lap in this session in. So Kizlersko electing to go with the soft tyre, as we've got a yellow flag. I think that might just be Semper trying to make a little bit of space between himself and the Mercedes there. As we've got a couple of cars very, very close to one another. I believe that's Will and Beacon. In fact, Will has gone wide. Very wide, that he's actually gone off track.
Yeah.
He jumped to Will. It is a little bit of a spin there from Will. I don't think he's got any damage. So I think he's all good. So we jump back up to Kizlersko. Coming up towards the end of Sector 2 now is Kizlersko. A little bit of traffic there around the hairpin at the end of, or the start of Sector 2. Hopefully that's not going to affect anybody involved up there too much.
Interesting, we've got quite a few out there on the medium, so.
There are quite a few cars out there on those medium tyres, as you did just say this, right? You're racing this race. Which tyres are you going for in Q2? Are you looking to start on those mediums, or are you going to go for the soft?
I feel like the medium might be the stronger start tyre here.
So Swayze agreeing with the cars who are out on those yellow-walled medium tyres at the moment. But we'll see what Kizlersko can do. There's a little bit of a moment as he comes out of the final corner. It's a 35.8 from Kizlersko.
Having said that, though, Karen, it's a track where I can only go off previous game knowledge, and as we all know, when a new game, you get new tyre wear, new pit strategies. Sometimes it's not always going to be the same, as you can definitely tell this year with the presets. So
Indeed,
until I've driven,
water goes very, very wide to allow the cars behind him through.
With awareness,
unaware that Papa Goose had already completed a hot lap, and he has gone faster than Warder anyway. So it's Papa Goose second with a 1:37.231. Cal 17 F1, Kizlersko's teammate, a 37.3. Warder with a 38.8. And then Big Will with a 56.5. As Adam Lee now jumps in and joins in the fray. Obviously, he will unfortunately miss qualifying, so he will be starting at the back of the grid with Noodle. I'll be honest, I don't think that's actually going to bother Adam Lee that much, if I'm honest. So we'll see what Antiv Beacon can do now as Christo puts himself into P4, a 38.0 on those medium tyres.
Looks like Antiv Beacon's ERS is definitely in use.
It is indeed. Let's see what Beacon can do. Obviously, a driver who had a pretty good showing of himself last week, it has to be said, in Australia. So we'll see what he's able to do here in Abu Dhabi.
Christo, the only driver to base the time off at the moment with a 38 on the medium.
Let's see what Beacon is able to do by comparison. We've lost Kirby. As
It's
Beacon
a 35.
goes...
That is really close to Kizlersko and on the mediums.
Oh, that's a big hit. TM Kirby is very much out of the session there. Dropped it out of the second of the 3 chicanes here at Abu Dhabi and has ended up in the wall on the right hand side. So that's not going to help Kirby's qualifying session in any way, shape or form. So that will be Kirby starting P14 at worst. as Papa Goose has potentially had a little bit of a spin. He has. He's lost his front wing as well. So potentially a big shunt there from Papa Goose. Maybe losing it out of T3. Let's jump down to Tom Goring then. We got... yeah, I think because that's going to be Christo going round on a slow lap. We'll see what Tom Goring is able to do now as he comes up to these final two corners. 35.8 the time to beat from Kieslewski here in Q2 so far. Tom Goring is going to cross the line and go 35.896. It's
impressive time.
Very close to Antiv Beacon's time there.
Yeah, I mean, but anyone at the moment, you see Antiv Beacon and Tom Goring, they're both on the mediums.
Yeah, indeed. See what Semper can do. Semper is just about to start a hot lap now. I think Vapid is about to do something similar. Will, I believe, is on an in lap.
Cam is on a hot lap on the mediums.
Cam is on a hot lap.
There's pieces of AlphaTauri all over.
There is indeed. That was unfortunately the AlphaTauri of TM Kirby, who has unfortunately
nice exit
in the wall. Oh, Noodle says he knows Antiv's plan.
Well, Cam was in the chat earlier saying more time to find. He's got his ERS on this time, so let's see if he can find that time.
Let's have a watch of Cam as he comes along the second of the two DRS straights here.
He's purple.
And goes purple in sector 2. 57.4 for sector 2.
Really nice
Cam
there.
Very strong. We'll jump on board with Cam as he comes through this very high speed. You're pretty much flat out through the entirety of this section.
That is very nice. Good track usage.
Trying to use as much of the track as you possibly can. Take the constant Ryan lines, as we'll call them. Don't want to get too close on the outside curb there. But Cam looks to be running very well here, and Cam comes across the line. 34.834 on the medium tyres. Fantastic lap.
That is over
there
a
by
second
Cam.
What a lap.
And there's Vapid 34.7.
These two.
Vapid
It looks like they are set to
34.7.
continue the battle from last year at this rate.
Oh, indeed. Let's see where Mr. Semper is. He's on the soft tire. He has invalidated, unfortunately, so that's not going to help his cause.
Of course, Leclerc and Ryan now both out on the out laps on the medium.
They are indeed, so we will watch Mr. Leclerc. I think he is probably going to be the next car we're going to have that's going to be setting a lap
just
time.
Starting now.
So we'll assume that everyone above TF Leclerc is going to be coming back into the pits. So let's just quickly have a quick look at Warder. In fact, Warder is up on his time. So Warder might cross the line. So we'll keep an eye on Warder. And just in time for the stream indeed. Omar, how you doing, my friend? Welcome in to the stream. I hope you are well, my friend. Hope you are well. Hope everything is all good in the world of Omar.
That was a purple section 1 from Leclerc there. He's really moving. He had a really clean section there.
Oh, and Gareth has invalidated now in sector 3. That's not ideal for Warder. That's not going to help his course. So we'll jump back to Leclerc.
Nice and smooth there. I think it was still 70 miles an hour there just as he rolled out the right-hander on that chicane. Good speed through the corners. That's purple sector 2.
Indeed, I think he is marginally slower than what Cam did though in his most recent lap. I think Cam was in the 54s as he crossed, for the timing being for sector 2.
According to the track map, Leclerc purple 1 and 2.
It's probably a personal purple, if I am honest. But we shall see as Leclerc comes around the final 2 corners now. around the final corner. We'll jump on board with TES Leclerc. He comes up to the line now, crosses the line at 1:35.2. That's enough for P3.
Okay, last time in sector 3.
Potentially.
Let's have a look at this week. I'm going to go find out.
Where is Cal? Cal is on an outlap, so Constant Ryan is going to be the next person to cross the line. Or maybe not, actually. Anted Beacon is just ahead. There we go. There is Anted Beacon. In fact, Beacon has invalidated his lap time, which is not ideal. So we'll jump back to Constant Ryan and see if for the second session in a row, whether Mr. Swayze gets to say his favourite line.
He's going to need a good section. He's going to need a good section 3. Vapid is at the moment 3/10 faster than anybody else in that
Up
sector.
to the line, Swayze.
There it is. You know it. I don't need to say it anymore. It's well known that Constant Ryan does Constant Ryan things, and it will continue to do them all the way through this season, I suspect.
Second session in a row that Constant Ryan goes half a second quicker than the car behind. Fantastic lap there by Constant Ryan. 34.226 on those medium tyres. But the cars we are looking to potentially lose at the moment are Semper, Warder, Christo, and of course TM Kirby, who has unfortunately ended up in a wall earlier on in this session. As Cam retires from the session, he's done all he feels that he needs to. He thinks he's pretty safe in his current position. Vapid is on an outlap himself. On those medium tyres once again.
Warder has got a nice, I think even just cruising around it, so you can, he's got the potential to be able to go faster now on the medium.
Ooh, Semper! From round, you don't want to get in people's way. I think he's good.
Who is on lap and closest to the finish, is it, Kid Leicester?
Cal. It'll be Cal, 17, F1. Rounding the final corner now, run up to the line. 37.3 is his best time so far. Improves to a 36.7, but he's still on the cusp. He's in that danger zone. Just needs one of these drivers below him to improve their lap time better than his, and that will be him out of qualifying. So he needs to really hope that Christo, Warder and Semper all have little moments. We've got a lot of traffic around. Vapid having to go very, very slowly.
Papa Goose is on the lap.
Constant Ryan retires from the session.
I think he's had to bail. I think Papa Goose has had to bail. I'm not sure if Semper was on the lap or not. But he got really close to the back of him, and now he's invalidated as Semper.
He has invalidated his lap time.
I'm not sure that Papa Goose wants to,
yeah,
but he's still going to be starting. He's on the soft
3 lap hold. Well, they're going to be 3 lap hold softs as well. Papa Goose! Oh, that's not going to help. That's Papa Goose potentially out of the session now. That's not ideal. The flag has now dropped. So Cal 17 F1 gets a little reprieve following the crash to Papa Goose. Let's see what these guys who are on laps are able to do. Where is Christo? Christo is coming on along that first DRS straight now. Warder is at the end of that same DRS straight. Semper is further ahead still. But what we'll do is we'll quickly jump to Tom Gorian, who is the furthest car ahead, and he's about half a second up on his time at the moment.
He was purple too.
So we'll see what Tom Gorian is able to do, whether he can link up Sector 3 the same way that he linked up Sector 2 for that purple sector on the track map. And once we see Tom Gorian cross the line, we will jump down to Semper, who is just below Tom Gorian. Tom Gorian goes P2. Semper comes around the final corner. Does Semper get himself through? No, he doesn't! Semper finishes 11th. That is P11 for Semper. Christo, can he improve? Water goes above Semper. Water is in 11th. And Christo goes ahead of Semper. Christo will start this race P12.
Water gets prime choice of a fresh set of new mediums, I would suspect, for that car.
So Papa Goose, despite finishing in 10th place, will unfortunately leave us as well, as he has crashed out of the session. So we will only have a top 9 shootout for Q3. And those 9 drivers in that top 9 shootout are Constant Ryan, Tom Gorian, Vapid Coot, WRS Cam, TES Leclerc, Kislesko, Antis Beacon, TES Big Will, and Cal 17 F1. Papa Goose will, of course, start the race from P10 on the soft tyre. Very, very unlucky from Gareth. Of course, Gareth does get that free choice of tyre, as Swayze did mention.
It's almost a 50-50 grid inside the top 10 on terms of tyre, but it's more 60-40. We have 6 starting on the medium and 4 starting on the soft.
Well, there we go. That's the sort of stuff you like to hear from Mr. Swayze.
Should make it an interesting race with a nice mixed bunch of strategies going on.
It should indeed. So we're about to start the Q3, Mr. Swayze. Who is your prediction for pole position?
I mean, at the moment, it's looking like Ryan, surely. He's a hard man not to back.
Swayze says Constant Ryan. Did you say it's tough to not back him? But I'm gonna go with the man that's cut the man that's the first car out on track in Mr. Kislesko. I'm gonna back Kislesko. I think he can put in a good time, and I think he could be up there. I think he could be up there. Adam's getting us up. He'll be back. Yep, not a problem, Joe. Waters in chat. I knew I should have stuck softs on. You were so unlucky. You're so unlucky, G.
Yeah, man. Unlucky, Gareth, man.
Both Gareth and Norris in chat, both saying Constant Ryan for pole. So they are agreeing with you, Swayze.
Like I said, he's a hard man not to bet against, man.
He is indeed, but we'll see what Kislesko is able to do, because he is the lead car. And if I'm Cam, I'm going to want to be slowing down, because I don't want to really be getting stuck in Tom Gorian's dirty air. When I'm looking to try and set a lap time, I'd be backing off a little bit now, potentially letting...
That is not Tom Gorian in front of him, that is Constant Ryan. In front of Cam.
Oh, it's Constant Ryan in front of Cam. Oh, indeed, yes, Tom Gorian's still in the pits. In fact, Tom Gorian's on his way out of the pits now as we speak, so even still, be backing off even more. If I'm Cam, obviously don't want to get stuck in the dirty air of Constant Ryan. Kislesko crosses the line now. Cam has done exactly what I thought he was going to do. Slows down before the last couple of corners, just to let Constant Ryan go. Obviously now potentially wanting to try and get himself out before there's too much traffic. Hopefully Leclerc doesn't get in the way of Constant Ryan when he's on a lap. Nope. Does very, very well to get out of the way there. Does TES Leclerc, who is backing Big Will, or Big Williams. TES Big Williams, or as Swayze will always call him, Big Wee, in pole position.
Gotta love Big Wee.
Norris is saying Tom second, Leclerc third. So that is Norris's predictions for the end of qualifying. Constant Ryan on pole, being joined on that front row by Tom Gorian with TES Leclerc in third. Noodle is saying Constant Ryan pole, Leclerc second, Beacon third. Ooh. Got a few different names being thrown out here. It's what we like
Right,
to see.
I think it'll be. Here we go then. Constant Ryan for the win. Vapid second. Kozlesko third.
There you go. You're hearing that from Swayze. See what Kozlesko can do. He's rounding the final few corners now.
Well, Kozlesko or Cam.
Go Kozlesko now on the run up to the line, crosses the line with a 1:35.1. Constant Ryan 34.2.
Why wouldn't it be?
34.2 from Constant Ryan. And Vapid dives into the pits.
And it's just like jumped up and back into the box, get out of the car, go for a coffee, stretch your legs.
Let's see who have we got next. We've got Beacon. He has unfortunately invalidated his lap time, which is not going to help his cause. We'll see what Mr. Big Will can get himself up to. This is the person Leclerc said was going for pole. He comes around the final corner now. The run up to the line. TS Big Will puts himself third with a 35.4.
It's not a bad time. Maybe it's purple. That was that Tongorian purple there into.
Cal is on an out lap. Tongorian is on a hot lap. Ooh, excuse me. Tongorian, let's see what he can do. He comes up to the final couple of corners now.
I feel like this sector 3 is key. Looking back through sector 2 on the race director, there was a big difference in sector times just in sector 3 between quite a few people. So I feel it's going to be the key sector to get him right for a fast lap time.
Tom Gorian, the 35 dead. Is Kieran tired? Maybe a little bit, Noodle. Probably I didn't have the best night's sleep last night, but it's fine. We will be good because the action from you guys out on track when we get racing will be enough to keep this man awake. So don't you worry about that, sunshine.
Oh, Leclerc there pops into second.
Does indeed. So 34.9 by TS Leclerc, only the second person in Q3 to get into those 34s. And Big Will, is he on a flyer or is he looking to slow down? He is slowing down and coming into the pits. Let's see what Cal can do. Seen his teammate go P4, having set the first time of the session. Let's see where Cal can put himself, and he is going to be slower than his teammate. Cal goes P6 with a 37.7, and Constant Ryan, believe it or not, Sways, is not happy with that lap. He has just popped into chat and has gone rubbish lap. He is 7/10 faster than anyone else on track, and he's not happy with that lap time.
But can I just say, that's what makes him a brilliant driver. If you get to a point where if you know in yourself you can do faster, then you should be feeling like that, because if you ever just content is not room for improvement. If you believe you can go faster, you can always go faster.
Indeed you can. Well, he is out on a lap. Well, he's on an out lap at the moment, so we will keep an eye on him. We'll see if Cal is going faster. He is not going faster, so this will be an in lap from Cal 17 F1. Cam, however,
for Cam
is on a lap, so we'll see what WRS Cam does. We're right on board with him as we go into sector 3. Well, we have got 15 of you lovely, wonderful people in the chat watching SFR Season 5 Round 2 here from the Yas Marina Circuit in Abu Dhabi. So, of course, your boy Kieran right now to teaming up with TS Swayze once again. Back in the after a week's break. Cam goes P2 with a 34.3
Last time that happened, Vapid went faster straight after,
And it's
and there
Vapid!
it is.
34-1.
34-1.
See what
Ryan.
Beacon can do.
33, please. You said that's a rubbish lap.
Beacon,
Now you can go
34
out there and
dead!
do it.
34 dead by handed Beacon.
It is on now. Ryan has to get into the
we
33 if he
go.
wants that pole.
He does indeed, and I think, Mr. Swayze, Leclerc potentially has time to find two, because he's popped into chat and said that he set his time, that 34.9, that was set on scrub tyres. But he still has a fresh set of softs.
Indeed, he does.
Let's see
I
what
think this
Constant
battle
Ryan
is
can
about
do.
to heat up. We are into the final 3 minutes here for round 2 qualifying at Abu Dhabi. As Enter Beacon just takes out the apex marker there.
Yeah, it's fine. No one needs it. No one needs it. It's fine. These guys know what they're doing. Let's see. Constant Ryan, is he up on his last time? He is, but only by a 10th. He's only a 10th of a second up. And he's invalidated twice.
He's got
Constant
time to
Ryan
go around. He's
has
got time to stay
invalidated
out.
his time. He has got time to go out again.
He's
gonna have
just
to.
a cool last sector though. Have to cut the track, yeah, I would.
Yep.
Take
Turning
your
the track
tyre life.
just to make sure that you can definitely get across in time. And of course, as Swayze says, to save that tyre life. In fact, is he?
pitting.
He's
I
pitting.
don't think he's got. Yeah, I think that is Ryan's starting position. I don't think it's time to go back out.
He's pitting. Tom Gorian retires from the session. Kislesko and Cal are on out laps. TS Big Will is on a hot lap. These are the only 3 cars out on track at the moment. So we will stay with Big Will for the duration of this lap. And we will see what trouble Mr. Big Will can get himself up to. 35.4 is currently his best lap time. Leclerc is now out on an out lap as well. Kislesko has started his time now.
Just started. And I think that'll be it. I don't think anybody else will get us out. in time.
Cam's come out, but I don't think he's going to have enough time. Vapid
So
has
is
also
Vapid.
come out. I don't think Vapid's got enough time either. I don't think they've left themselves enough time. I think they've forgotten how long it actually takes to get around this circuit, unless you're going to cut many corners. I don't think so. These guys are going to have enough time.
Cut many corners. Cut many corners. But the question is, will they be in trouble for that?
Potentially, but we'll see what Mr. Big Will can do. 35.4 is his time so far. Lap is still valid. Comes
Everybody's
up
out
to
on
the
that.
line now. He goes a 10th faster. Exactly a
timing
10th
now?
faster. Everyone is out. It may potentially be
Yeah.
a timing glitch. It may potentially be a timing bug at our end, but we shall see what happens.
Let's go will be next, right?
He will be. And by our timing, he will be the last person to cross the line.
Oh, yep, there it is. Checker flag, he's out on Anti-Beacon, Vapid, Constant Ryan on our screen. Their laps are done.
So we will see what happens here. Here's Lesko round the final corner now. Can he take pole position?
Six.
Can't.
He
P6.
did improve.
He did improve though. So we'll see what Cal can do. Cal is ever so slightly down on his time at the moment.
You want to
We're
talk
trying
about
to
a
see if we
man
can
with a chance
push.
to pole? It's got to be TS Leclerc, right?
Indeed, it must be. We'll see now. Cal comes up to the line. Can he improve on his lap time? No, he's 300ths down on his lap time. So Cal's going to stay P9. TS Big Will is up on his time. Who's ahead?
TS
Big Will is
Leclerc,
ahead.
purple and 2.
Big Will is ahead of Leclerc on track, so we'll see what Big Will can do. Is he able to improve on that lap time? Potentially get himself above Tom Gorian. There's not much between them. He doesn't. He does not improve. Just under 1/10 of a second down is Big Will. But Leclerc, 2/10 up from what we can see.
I'm probably only about 2 millimeters away from a wall a minute ago.
See, can Leclerc put it on pole? No, he can't.
Did he improve though? He didn't show me the final position though. I didn't quite catch it.
Oh, he didn't catch it. He didn't. He stays P5. In fact, no, sorry, he did. He improved his time, but I don't think he may have jumped Kislesko, but that would have been it.
Antiv Beacon though.
Antiv Beacon on pole.
This is going to be an interesting opening to this race, I'll tell you that.
Vapid Coot in second, Constant Ryan in third, Cam in fourth, Leclerc in fifth, Kislesko sixth, Tom Gorian in seventh, TS Bigwell in eighth, and Cal 17 F1 rounds out your top 9 for Q3.
Oh dear.
And Constant Ryan, thanks Cody's getting invalidation at the end of the second straight where there's no white line to tell you where the limits are. That's not ideal, Constant Ryan. And we have Leclerc in chat saying a lot of people are in trouble for qualifying. So I'm sure there will be statements or something posted in the SFR Discord. And 21:05 is our start time. We've got 5 minutes, guys. You've got 5 minutes to go and compose yourselves. Get yourselves ready for the race and all that jazz. Myself and Swayze are going to take a very, very quick break, and we shall be back in just a couple of minutes.
Yes, I'm okay.
There we go. We are good. Don't know why the video started playing for a second time there, but it did. In normal fashion for everything. So we're all good. We are now at 21:05. So
yes, I am back, and I think
Mr. Swayze is back.
I think it's because the answer to your question for me is because when it comes to fucking up, we are professionals.
Indeed. Wouldn't be an SFR stream without a couple of technical hiccups.
It most certainly would not.
It's how we do things here in SFR.
It's how we roll.
My game crashed, but I'm back, hoping I can start. You should be able to, Tom. If my thinking's correct, it should give you control of the car after the formation lap. So you might not have control of your car for the formation lap, but for race start, you should have control of your car. But just be careful in case you don't. Or be careful if the game does give it to you as you pull off the line. So just be aware of that, my friend. But here we go. It is time for the formation lap here in Abu Dhabi. We will look at those tyres situations. And, well, there you go, Mr. Swayze. Those are your, oh no, my shoes situations. Tom Gorian on the softs, Cal 17 F1 on the softs, Papa Goose on the softs, Semper on the softs, everyone else on those yellow ball medium tyres.
I could have swore we had 4 on the softs from Q2, but I'm pretty sure I counted that.
Unless it was someone in Q2 who had set their fastest time on mediums and was looking to go faster on softs. Potentially. I don't know. We would have to have a look back at everything post.
Well, with full qualifying, it's not like you'd have the option to change it. You can get.
Well, no. Anton Beacon is pacing the cars around this Yas Marina circuit. Yes, I'm trying to see how many times I can get that done in the stream. And I apologise if it does. In fact, I would say I apologise if it does anger you, but I really don't. I really don't. It was a running gag between myself, Mr. Leclerc, and Mr. Sainz, and Mr. Noodle prior to us going live. So it's sort of just been stuck in my head ever since. But Anton Beacon now pacing the field through Sector 3. Obviously wanting to try and bunch up this pack as much as he possibly can. So he has the least amount of time as possible on the grid. Sat there letting his tyres cool down. There is that red, white and blue Haas. The game should now take over Anton Beacon's car, which it has done. We will jump towards Mr. Adam Lee. Of course, first look at Adam Lee this evening. I think Noodles put that in a wall. No, it wasn't Noodles, sorry, it was Kirby who put it in a wall. So used to seeing so used to having Dom Noodle driving in an Alpha Tauri. Right, so again, Tom, if you are listening, mate, be careful because the game may give you control of your car now, if it hasn't already. So just be aware that the game may give you control of your car now. We are waiting for the 5 red lights to go out. 3, 4, 5 red lights on and out, and it's lights out, and away we go here in Abu Dhabi. This is round 2 of SFR Season 5.
Start. Manages to
Traffic
fold.
digging us a bit of a slow start. Constant Ryan tries to see if he can get himself through. Drops a place to Cam, but Beacon seems to have gone off like a man on fire.
Leclerc is alongside Tom Gorian's car.
Absolutely gone. Yeah, I don't think Tom Gorian's got control of his car just yet.
Cam and Vapid
Definitely
are side
like
by
he
side.
was ghosted. Tom Gorian definitely still looks ghosted
still
at the
side by
moment. He
side
will
coming out
hopefully.
the hip, and it's going to be a drag race, Karen.
Ooh.
Look at this between
It is
Cam and Vapid.
indeed. We're watching from Concert Ryan's on board just behind these two. Looking behind, you've got Leclerc there going through the ghost's car of Tom Gorian. Cam is going to try and do it around the outside, which gives him the inside into the next corner. He is indeed. Vafa going to come back and not able to make a move though. That is Cam up into second place. Vapid
I'm just
drops
saying,
down to third.
I don't know whether that delta is correct, but Ante Beacon is almost a second and a half clear within a lap.
Yeah, Anton Beacon has very much gone like a house on fire.
Tom Gorey
He's
goes
very,
still
very
right
fast.
there in that black. Oh, he's gone solid. I think he's in. No? Yeah?
We've got Mr. Singh Harvey in the chat. Hello, Harvey. How are you, my friend? I hope you are well.
Leclerc does get in front of it, and it's round. It's round. Tom Gorman's car is round.
This car was round, but it has jumped back onto track, so I think Tom Gorey now does have control of his machinery. I'm sure we shall see. Hi, good. How are you? I'm very well, my friend. I am very, very well as Anton Beacon goes purple, obviously. DRS has not been enabled. Do not listen to the game. We are only on lap 2. We're not on lap 3 yet. We are on lap 2 of 28 here in Abu Dhabi. This is, of course, round 2 of SFR Season 5. And oh no! Gareth! No! Gareth!
Virtual safety
We've
car.
had a casualty. We've got a VSC. That's a lot of damage on Gareth's car. That could genuinely be a full course. This could actually get upgraded, I'm not going to lie.
We will see.
Unfortunately, if it does get it upgraded to a
big
full
word,
safety
opportunity
car,
for the soft runners to change strategy there.
it will, but it also, of course, all hurts Antiv Beacon at the moment. Of course, he's not able to go full throttle and pull away from these cars just yet. If Antiv Beacon doesn't win after this opening lap. Check race director. I can check race director for you, Mr. Hoy. I think the delta might actually be broken, not just visual. Oh. So let's just see what we've had so far. Yeah, so terminal damage for Gareth on the start of lap 2. That is all we have had.
Of course,
So,
Tom Gorman is a long way behind. Yeah, it's saying he's lapped by the look of it.
Yeah, he's not lapped. Tom Gorin is definitely not lapped. I know that much. The Delta is.
We have a yellow in sector 3.
The intervals.
Is it a Mercedes?
It is. It's Goose. It's Papa Goose. Has had a bit of a spinella. So we are now on a lap 3 of
Somewhere in that,
28.
Cam has got past Vapid.
Cam got past Vapid when they were side by side through
the Delta is
chicanes,
completely
wasn't it?
fucked. 'Cause
Yeah, it's not ideal. Hopefully it will sort itself out momentarily. Not Deco. Unlucky, G. I can definitely say now that that is not the case. Cam is not a lap behind Beacon, I will tell you that now. Big Will, as you can see, under pressure from Kislesko behind. We'll jump onto Kislesko's on board. And we'll watch with the DRS open. Kislesko is going to try and wait until as late as possible. He's going to try and go around the outside of Big Will. Not able to make that move just yet is the Alpine driver. Big Will holds on to P6 for now.
it's hard to tell, but I think Cam is closing in on Ante Beacon.
He definitely is. If you go on board with Cam, you can see that he's got Beacon within his sights. But we'll definitely look to try and keep an eye on that. Fortunately, as you can see, the deltas are not correct at the moment. Let's just do that. There we go. It should now sort itself out as everyone crosses the line again, guys. The split times will be good. Nah, it's all good now, Harvey. It's all good. It just needed a lap to sort itself out. That's all.
We have a yellow
All
in sector
fine
3.
and
It's Papa
dandy.
Goose
It is
again.
Papa Goose again. Goose is not having the best of times at the moment in that Mercedes. Hopefully he can get it facing in the right direction.
Is he DRS then? He was so close. He is close.
Just in, I think.
No, he didn't get it. He was not
he
in
didn't
the
get it.
detection zone.
He did not get it.
Leclerc got it on
Leclerc,
Ryan.
however, has. Leclerc's got it on Constant Ryan. Up into the second DRS straight now. Come these two cars will jump on board with TS. Leclerc trying to hunt down last season's Drivers' Champion in Constant Ryan in the Williams. He's not close enough to make a move just yet, but this DRS is definitely going to help him get closer to that Williams. Papagoose in the pits, getting himself off those soft tyres onto a set of mediums, which I think after 2 spins in 2 laps is probably a very, very good decision there from Papagoose. As Semper gets past Christo, Semper up into P8 now, but he has got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So playing with those track limits just a little bit too much, and he did pay the price. Kirby and Adam Lee having a little battle as well, as Leclerc picks up a 3-second time penalty. That is very, very rare, especially for someone like TS Leclerc.
Yeah, definitely. You don't normally see that from Leclerc, especially not this early on, within 5 laps as well.
Indeed, we are on lap 5 of 28 here in Abu Dhabi.
I just can't wait into that second.
He can't yet.
So close on the exit
of the
there.
time. It's a 10th here, a 10th there. He's not close enough to make that gap close
he's used
enough.
all of his energy as well. 5% ERS, 3% ERS.
He's using all of that ERS to try and see if he can bridge that second gap to Antiv Beacon, who is currently leading
Of course,
this Grand Prix.
Constant Ryan's in a similar position, really low on energy compared to Leclerc behind him.
He is indeed having to use that ERS to defend from Leclerc.
Constant Ryan picks up the penalty.
Woo! That again, similar to Leclerc, something you don't see very often in SFR.
It's definitely going to shake things up for sure. These are not penalties you can get rid of in a pit.
They are not. And jump down to Adam Lee and Kirby, who are again having a nice little battle. The two sister cars.
Cam now within a second.
Indeed, we will keep an eye on that gap between Cam and Antiv Beacon.
Beacon can come around the final corner.
Okay. Game's just randomly put me onto Kislesko's car. Thank you very much, game.
We have a yellow flag.
We've got a yellow flag in sector 3.
Yeah, I believe it's an AlphaTauri.
But Christo. It is, it's Christo. Had a little bit of a moment coming out of, I think it was the penultimate corner.
This is going to be the first go down the big straights where Cam is going to be within DRS of Antiv Beacon.
You can see that DRS is open on that Mercedes. Can he get himself
Look
close
at the
enough to
overspeed
Beacon?
when it's open. Look how much he's gaining.
He's gained so much. Adam Lee has made that move on Kirby now. Adam Lee up into P10. Adam Lee looking to now try and see if he can hunt down Dom the Noodle for
And again,
P9.
that DRS open for Cam. It's going to pull him right up to the back of Antiv Beacon. If he can stay there, he's going to have a real prime opportunity next lap. I think if he starts next lap within 3/10 of Antiv Beacon, he's going to have a real good shot down that first DRS straight.
We'll see now. Beacon bounces off that curb on the exit of that complex of corners there.
Now within DRS on Bafford. That's it.
Can join you two for a chat if you want. I'm sure we could have a little chat with Mr. Warder.
Of course we can.
So we've always got time for Mr. Warder. Where is Mr. Warder? Let's have a chat with Mr. Warder and see what happened. Have a chat with the main man himself. So we'll just let Mr. Gareth jump himself into the party.
Adam Lee picks up a 3-second time penalty as well now.
Get his audio
Cam
included.
half a second at the moment. He's right there. I think almost on the back of Antiv Beacon.
Surely it's got to happen now, Swayze. He's so close. He's probably the closest he's been.
Let's see how much DRS is really worth.
Beacon pulls to the left.
He's trying to break the slipstream there.
He's trying to break that slipstream, but it's not going to help. Here comes the overspeed from Cam. Is he going to be able to make that move on Anti-Beacon? No move yet.
Deep into the braking zone.
You can
One
see
more
how
DRS.
close he is now.
Twitch there from Anti-Beacon, but Cam
Oh,
didn't have
we've
the
lost
best
Semper.
exit.
We've lost Semper, same place. Oh
Safety
no!
car, safety car.
Oh no, that's going to hurt Cam so much. Safety car is out. We've lost Semper in a pretty similar place to where we lost the man who has joined us in the party, in Mr. Warder Gareth. What
He lost
happened
it coming into the coming out the pit lane.
So that's where Semper's lost it. Where did you lose it, my friend?
I just caught too much curb on turn 1, the exit of turn 1, and yeah, it's annoying because I felt confident. I've got to admit, I felt like I had a bit of pace. Maybe not, top 7 pace, but felt like I could, go a couple of rounds with maybe Dom, Papa Goose. So it's a little bit annoying, but it's not the end of the
It's a
world.
little bit unfortunate, no, but you've been able to see both sides of SFR in the last couple of weeks. Obviously, joined me in the comms box last week for our season opener in Australia.
Which I am
Took to the
thankful
track
for
today.
you stepping up there, Mr. Gareth. That's very much appreciated.
Always happy to help when I can, and seeing as there was space, I thought, why not race?
Exactly. The race didn't go on for as long as you would have liked, but hey ho. We have had some very, very early pit stops, so Cam is out
I agree with you
on
there, Warder.
hards now.
I mean, you had a good race. You put in a good performance in the Warder Tedder race. So why not race?
Yeah, and it does like make me think. This is a reason why I kind of stopped racing in the first place, was because the disappointment of not racing, of crashing out or having things not go your way. And I'm pretty like, and I'm sorry, Jamie can tell me off at the end of this if he really wants to. I'm sure the PRS guys are going to have a good laugh of me crashing out early on. I don't give a shit. I'm here for a little bit of the fun, and this is what we're here for. And yeah.
Of course, you're absolutely right there. If there's no fun in it,
You
what
are
is
here.
the actual point? Yeah, it's
You
a
are here
championship.
for a laugh
yeah,
at the end of the day.
I
yeah,
do
it's
have to admit,
competition, but-
Cam and Antiv Beacon going on hards, I don't think that's the right move. I don't think they're very good tied on around this track. But obviously those two are a lot quicker than me, so my opinion might not be for much.
What we'll,
Few splits there.
what we'll do, we will have a quick rundown of the tyres that everyone has jumped onto, those who have come into the pits anyway, and I can tell you now there's a couple of very, very, very interesting tyre choices here.
Of course. Well,
As
there's
Mr. Gareth did allude to, Cam and Anti-Beacon both on the hard tyre. Vapid Coot though, on the softs. Both Ryan and Leclerc are on the mediums. Big Will has followed suit with his teammate and gone onto the soft tyres, as has Adam Lee and SC Christo. But Kirby, Tom Gorian and Cal all go on to a fresh set of medium tyres. Dom the Noodle are now going to come into the pits, obviously unable to come in last lap because Antiv Beacon was in the pits. So he is now going to pit under this safety car. Question is, what tyres are going onto that Haas? It is another set of medium tyres. Papa Goose decides to stay out on those 4-lap-old medium tyres. Of course, he did stop pretty on after a couple of spins in one lap. So maybe not confident with the soft on the mediums. Waiting for Dom to catch up to the back of the pack, which he has done. Field is now bunched up once again. Cam takes his spot at the lead of the race, just behind that lovely red safety car. Shame that we don't get the other safety car that we have in the game as well. Well, in the world of F1, I should say.
hopefully they put it in when you put the tracks in.
We shall see, Mr. Size. Whilst we'll waiting for everything to get themselves back underway. Let's have a quick look at the position change. Have a look at the big movers and shakers. Big winner, definitely Adam Lee, man who started P16. Safety car is going to come in this lap, so we will be going racing very, very shortly. But Adam Lee up 8 from 16th. Kirby up 5 from 14th. And then, of course, you've got Cam, started the race P4, up into the lead of this race at the moment. Big losers, unfortunately. The man who has come to join us in the party for a little bit of a chat in Mr. Warder. He is unfortunately down 5. Not the best of races for G, but hopefully we will see G again in an SFR race very, very soon. And hopefully the race will go a little bit better than it did tonight.
Oh, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. I'm hoping, you know, a couple of races definitely this season. But the safety car's just come in, so I'm going to shut up.
There we go, we're about to go racing again. Cam decides when he wants to go. Is he going to Valtteri Bottas this all the way up to the line? He is. Waits until he pretty much gets to the start-finish line before he goes racing again. We are now green again here in Abu Dhabi. Cam leads these drivers off. We're going to jump back onto the tyres so everyone can see what
Keep
tyres
an eye
everyone
on
is on.
Baku right now at this restart. Remember, he's on the soft tyre. He's going to be looking for
Ooh, Beacon! Big moment there from Anton Beacon. Almost collects Vapid. Vapid able to move himself out of the way and not get hit by that Haas. Constant Ryan under pressure from TS Leclerc just behind. Ryan and Leclerc having a nice little battle here. They are side by side. Of course, no DRS yet. So this is just done on pure battery and driver pace. Who's going to be bravest? Who is going to be the bravest of these two drivers? Who's going to be the last of the late breakers? Will! Will tried to get himself involved as well.
He's
no
on the
move
soft
for
big
Will.
He's got a chance of getting deeper into the braking zone.
Soft tyres. Is he going to be able to get Constant Ryan? We'll have a watch. Vapid has obviously got himself up into second, having got past Beacon when Beacon had that little moment through the S's at the start of the lap.
There's hard tyres on, a little bit of trouble warming up.
Indeed, those hard tyres are going to take a little bit of time to get themselves back up to temperature. But Adam Lee here, the biggest mover of everyone so far, is Beacon. Picks up a penalty. That's not going to help his race in any way, shape or form. Adam Lee trying to hunt down Kizlesko. Of course, Adam Lee has got a penalty. 37.9 by Vapid Coot, and he's within
right
3/10 of Cam. You can see that Mercedes just ahead of the McLaren as Christo now picks up a 3-second time penalty as well. Just going to look to try and keep himself as close as he can to that Mercedes if Cam is Vapid Coot. Going to look to make the move down this straight. Obviously still no DRS just yet.
I think Leclerc might be looking for the same thing on Antwerp Beacon as well.
We're going to stick with this battle between Vapid and Cam. Not able to make that move just yet. He's going to look, have a little look, decides not yet. I'm going to try and just sit behind Cam and try and potentially get the move here. Tom Gorian and Kirby changing positions, and Adam Lee has got himself past Christo up into P7 now. Going to jump back to Mr. Leclerc and Constant Ryan with Antiv Beacon in the mix as well.
Yeah, no moves able to hold him off on the hard at the moment.
He's doing very, very well to hold him off, but shortly it's only going to be a matter of time. Next time round, well, this time round I should say, sorry, DRS will be enabled. So if you're within a second of the car ahead at the DRS detection points, you will be able to utilise that rear wing advantage. And we've seen prior to this safety car sways just how dominant the overspeed on that rear wing DRS is.
Yeah,
surely
it's
Vapid takes the lead.
It's worth a good 4 tenths a lap, just the DRS, I think.
Ooh, that looked like Beacon had another little moment there. I just saw that at the back of the screen. And he has indeed. Beacon's going to come under pressure now from Constant Ryan. Just holds on to P4 for now. Surely we're going to have to keep an eye on these 4 cars. All the way down to Adam Lee. Antive Beacon down to Adam Lee.
Well, I'm on board with Vapid,
DRS.
who's looking to go side by side now.
Here we go. Vapid on those soft tyres. Gonna stick it up there. And that is P1. But Cam's gonna look to potentially come back. And Cam will, of course, have DRS back on Vapid now. Pulls to the right, doesn't want to get into the air. Wants to try and potentially see if he can get that line around the outside of Vapid. Not able to make the move. Vapid holds on to the lead of the Grand Prix. Constant line, you can see how close he is to Antiv Beacon now. Surely it's gotta be close now. As Kirby picks up a 3-second time penalty. Kizletsko gets himself back past Adam Lee. And in fact, Adam Lee's lost a couple of positions. He's lost the place to Tom Gorian as well.
Coming out of the corner, he had a moment. It flung him to the other side of the track.
There we go. So that little moment from Adam Lee's cost him a couple of positions. We have to try and see if he can hunt back Tom Gorian, still showing as ghosted. I really hope Tom Gorian has been able to get control of his car again. He's not said anything in chat to say that he can't, so I'm leading to believe Tom Gorian has control of his Red Bull once again. I certainly hope he does.
Would have been there more about them than that. Was he revealing there at the start?
What was the question, sorry?
Whether,
Tom Gorian.
Yeah, Tom Gorian was able to actually
Is
get
he
control
ghosted
again.
or is he actually in control of his car now? I know because he's showing up as ghosted on...
I believe he was in there because he had a couple of moments. So he could have just paused it now and just using the pause. I don't want to accuse, so I can't say for certain.
Happy Goose is alongside Dom the Noodle there, or Dom the Noodle just getting cow, should I say.
Constant Ryan gets the move done on Antiv Beacon now, and the hunt for Leclerc is now on, but Antiv Beacon will of course get the DRS back
Happy Goose
on
just
Constant
the back
Ryan.
of Cow. There's a little scrap going on just at the back of the pack between 12th, 13th and 14th at the moment.
Let's jump down and have a watch then from Papa Goose is on board. He's not close enough to Cal yet, as Soyuz did say. There was a little bit of an almost coming together between Papa Goose and Cal. So Papa Goose having to try and build that time back up, trying to close that gap again. We have got Chloe in chat. Good evening, Chloe. Welcome into the stream. Adam Lee picks up another 3-second time penalty. So as you can hear Gareth, unfortunately Gareth did have an early departure from this evening's race. And just like that, time seems to have flown, Sways, because we're at the halfway mark already.
I know, it's amazing how fast it does fly when the action's constant, isn't it?
I mean, they always do say time flies when you're having fun, and on the note of having fun, Papa Goose and Cal getting very, very close to one another. Papa Goose does get that move done on the Alpine there of Cal 17 F1. Going to jump to Tom Gorian, who's going to look to potentially try and line up and move
Leclerc on Cam.
Let's go. As Leclerc gets that move on Cam. Big Will and Antiv Beacon! Woohoo! Big Will! Gets P5.
They're really struggling at the moment, Cam and Antiv Beacon. I guess a good call by Warder earlier on, saying that, you know, he thinks they've made the wrong choice. That's because Let's Go as well.
Let's go! On
the outside. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, Tom Gorian getting involved as well!
That's got to be ghosted. He just drove through them both, surely.
Yeah, I think that's ghosted.
And they're on width, because Let's Go up the outside.
Is he going to get it? My gosh, he's so close between these cars. Whew. But I think, yeah, as you were saying, Slays, I think it does. We've got a yellow flag.
The third round!
Oh, it is! He's lost his wing as well! He's lost his front wing! That's got to be Leclerc into the pits now. This could change a few things, Mr. Swayze. But again, it goes back to the point you were making. That Gareth was making. The hard tyre just doesn't seem to be the right tyre to be on.
I'm not sure what happened to Jamie. He must have touched the curb and that he didn't mean to there.
potentially. But here we go, Constant Ryan with the DRS and the ERS assistance. Decides not to use the ERS. Just going to do it on that rear wing alone.
There he goes.
And there is Adam Lee around past Antis Beacon as well. These guys on the hards wanting to obviously try and run those tyres to the end of the race. But
he's really struggling with Antis Beacon. Has he got damage?
I can't see any damage on that horse.
I mean,
it's to have both end plates, so unless there's potentially floor
damage, so.
unless there is of course floor damage or anything like that, Kizlesko and the ghosted car of Tom Gorian
he picks up
in one another.
Penalty for Antis Beacon.
We've
really gone from good to bad for him at the moment.
Yes, indeed. We'll have a look at the penalty situation. You see there, Constant Ryan, Kirby, Christo and Leclerc all with 3 seconds. Antis Beacon and Adam Lee with 6.
I'm going to say it. I think Rapid Softs are starting to go. Constant Ryan's closing in.
He is indeed, as Adam Lee picks up another time penalty. That's 9 seconds now for Adam Lee. You can see it there on the left-hand side of the screen. As Swayze's saying, Constant Ryan is closing in rapidly on Vapid Coot. Last season's Drivers' Champion on the hunt. Constant Ryan doing his Constant Ryan things on those medium tyres. He's going to get DRS on Vapid. Vapid pulls to the left. DRS, ERS, pure overspeed by Constant Ryan as he takes the lead
in the background
of the Grand Prix. But yeah, you can see Cam there as well. The drop off on Vapid's tyres is very, very paramount. Kizlesko and Tom Gorian still having that battle.
If you can get a set of mediums to the end from here, I think you should pit and look at maybe getting a bit of time back with an undercut on the next set of mediums.
Indeed, Mr. Swayze. Kizlesko looking to try and make a move on Big Will, but under pressure from the ghosted car of Tom Gorian, which is potentially leading me to believe that Tom Gorian's not been able to get himself back into the lobby, which is a bit of a shame because I know that Tom Gorian was very much looking forward to tonight's race here at the Yas Marina Circuit. It's Christo. Christo is round. Christo is round. Is now going to come under pressure from Papa Goose.
It is. Vapid is
in the Mercedes. There we go. Vapid Coot comes into the pits now, as does Big Will. Both of the McLarens are going to double stack. This is going to hurt Will. Adam Lee, all 3 of the guys on those soft tyres into the pits now.
Adam Lee's
is Christo going to do the same?
He's going to jump Will for sure.
Christo does jump into the pits. Let's watch Adam Lee. Where is Adam Lee? He's going to jump, as you say, he's jumped Big Will. Tom Gorian picks out a 3-second time penalty now as well.
If you know what, if the AI is driving that, why is the AI picking up penalties?
I don't know. 137.5 there though by TES Leclerc. A man who we know is very, very good at looking after his tyres twice. Surely 12 laps.
There's no way that was almost a full lock off. I'm on board with Tom Gorian and in the back of Kizlesko. And yeah, he's ghosted on my screen, but the way he's driving, if that's AI, it's really weird.
It's very, very strange. Such smooth inputs as well. So maybe it is the fact. Maybe it is Tom Gorian driving. He is just unfortunately ghosted, which is very, very strange on our end. But
we'll find out. I don't think at the moment it will stand if he is, because if he has not been there for so much of the race.
Indeed. But I believe we do still have Gareth with us. Gee, anyone surprising you in this race?
I'm just trying to keep an eye on like the timings, and Leclerc looks quick, but he's going to have to pit again, or otherwise he's going to be a sitting duck at the end. Caliph one's not had a great time by the looks of things, but the thing is, if you get pushed so far down the grid, you don't, that slipstream that everyone else is getting from everyone else, obviously in the battle, just pulls you so far away. There's no respite.
spike. But of course, with the new point system in SFR, providing all of these cars do cross the finishing line, they will all obtain points towards the Drivers' Championship, which is always a big plus. We're going to have a look at Adam Lee, who is now hunting down his Red Bull teammate Tom Gorian, who has come onto a fresh set of medium tyres, so that will now be him done to the end of the race in terms of pit strategy. Adam Lee follows Tom Gorian to the left, comes back across now to the right hand side of the track, not able to make a move just yet. But of course we'll have a second chance now on this second DRS straight. Let's see if he can get close enough to his teammate now to potentially make a move. We've got yellow flags in sectors 2 and 3.
I believe it is Christo again.
Is it Christo again?
It was I think it was an AlphaTauri again. But Viper Coupe is closing extremely fast on Dom the Noodle.
Yes, indeed, that is the battle for P5. Fresh tyres on Vapid's car, 8-lap old, mediums on Noodles.
That's a lift there.
See whether he's able to make a move, but I think a thing that's going to potentially hurt Vapid is a lack of battery. Saying that, Noodle has just as little battery as Vapid does. So the fresh tyres and that rear wing could help Vapid massively here. As Dom has a bit of a moment, and there we go, Vapid up the inside of Noodle.
But now Noodle's going to have DRS.
What a move by Vapid, but yeah, as you say, so that's going to open up the door for Noodle to get that DRS on Vapid, but look at the gap that Vapid's been able to bridge already to Noodle, 6/10. Having made that early move. Indeed, new rubber coming to the forefront there, and you can see from Dom's onboard, Vapid's pulling away. Noodle's got that DRS. He's now finally closing up.
I think that was tactical. I think Dom realised that was the best place for him to let Vapid go without him losing too much time. He then had 2 lots of DRS. He's going to pit again, so it might be very tactical from Dom and not a mistake. I could be wrong, and I just want to do input, so I'll shut back up now.
I mean, I'm going to say, if that is the case,
was that
that's great intellect to be able to think like that during the race as well, and while you're concentrating on everything else that's happening on track as well. Of course. That's a trait that makes a great racing driver.
It does indeed. Noodle has stayed out. Kizlesko now on a fresh set of soft tyres. So that could be potentially Kizlesko pushing for the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, which I believe is now currently in possession. It is still in possession of TF Leclerc. 1:36.509 is the time to beat so far. Let's do that one. There we go. Get the intervals back up. Adam Lee still trying to hunt down Tom Gorey. He just can't get close enough yet.
How far do you think the mediums can go, by the way?
I'd say Constant Ryan's fine. I think him and Dom will be able to go to the end.
Constant Ryan has to pit.
Actually, yeah.
He's been on medium, hasn't he? He has to pit.
Constant Ryan will be pitting for a set of soft tyres. Noodle has to do the same. He's done medium, as has Kirby.
Ante Beacon and Cam on them hards now ain't looking so bad, are they?
No, they're not.
In 8 laps, are you going to be able to make up the time it takes for a pit stop?
Only time will tell.
And of course, Constant Ryan does have a penalty on top of that, and he is in the pit now.
Here comes Constant Ryan into the pits now. We can only assume that Noodle's going to do the same thing.
I think they pitted a lap too late.
Ooh, there we go. You've heard it there from Gareth, guys. He thinks they've boxed a little bit too late.
Hey man, that's a guy who's watched enough races to know.
Noodle still hasn't boxed. Noodle still does not pit. This is a big risk from Noodle. Hopefully Noodle remembers that he still needs to pit and come off those medium tyres.
I don't think he does. I think he went on to the soft early on.
No, Noodle's not been on soft.
Huh?
Check race director. Noodle's not been on soft.
Ooh.
That was whew, Adam Lee up the inside and Noodle there. Up for P6. Kirby and Leclerc both in the pits. Fresh soft tyres, sorry, going on to both of those cars. As far as I'm aware, the only person still needing to pit will be Dom the Noodle.
Constant
Everyone else
Ryan's
has put on a
got
second
about.
set of tyres.
Let's see.
Yep,
here,
Noodle
10,
is the only
12.
person.
It's got about 15 seconds to make up to Cam if he wants to have a go at him and then pull him off the lead as well.
It's Kirby moving to the left to try and prevent the overtake from Leclerc, but there is the DRS overspeed from the Aston Martin of TES Leclerc. And now Kirby's going to come under pressure from his teammate. Christo's got him as well. Kirby loses 2 places in the space of a corner slice.
Hard, unlucky that is.
Because
But it does
now
happen.
trying to hunt down Noodle. Noodle has to box, surely. Someone's round. That's
That's
Tom
a Red Bull.
Gorian. Tom Gorian's round. Now
So
Noodle
if that's
comes into the
the AI,
pits.
it's spinning and picking up penalties. That's weird.
I definitely think it is Tom Gorian driving that car. That car has now come into the pits as well. I think Dom's left is too late.
I think you're right.
I genuinely think
In
Dom's
fact,
left
I
is
think
too
Gareth's
late.
right. I mean, I know Constant Ryan's fast, but I mean, Gareth might have hit the nail on the head. Ryan might have got a lap too late.
Yeah, Constant Ryan may well also be a lap too late. Leclerc has been able to make that move. Is he going to be able to get out ahead of Noodle though? He's going to be so close on exit. No, Noodle stays out ahead of Leclerc. Noodle just keeps himself ahead of TES Leclerc. You can see the Aston Martin there within touching distance of that Haas. He will have DRS down this straight. We'll jump back on board to the TV pod of TES Leclerc's Aston Martin. This is fresh rubber versus fresh rubber. This is just going to be the DRS assistance from TES Leclerc. Not able to make the move just yet, but you can see how close he is to that Haas of Don the Noodle. And surely now the move has to be made by Leclerc. Noodle stays left, tries to cover the inside for the first part of the chicane. I think he's going to cover it. No, he's not. Leclerc round the outside, gets the move done. That is TES Leclerc up into P8 ways.
That is good, and that is Constant Ryan doing Constant Ryan things and taking that fastest lap point at this precise moment in time with just 5 laps remaining.
Indeed, we're going to jump back up to the battle at the top. WRS Cam leads this Grand Prix. Of course, we did think that may have been a bit of a mistake between himself and Antif Beacon.
Dom
Noodle,
picked up
the pressure from Leclerc has forced Noodle into a penalty. But I think Noodle does still... No, that is... Yeah, it's 3 seconds apiece now. So this is now flat out racing between Leclerc and Noodle. This is for position. So we'll keep an eye on that battle. Keep an eye on the gap between those two cars. But Cam leads this race in the Mercedes. Antif Beacon in the other Haas. Don the Noodle's teammate in second place. But he has got those all-important 6 seconds worth of penalty. All Vapin needs to do is close about a 10.5 to Antif Beacon and he will claim second place this evening here in Abu Dhabi. Vapid is currently in third, but as we say, if he's able to close that gap, it will be second place for Vapid Coupe, with Antif Beacon dropping down to third. There is Constant Ryan, last season's Drivers' Champion,
I think
hunting
it already
down
might
Vapid.
be. Antif Beacon does have 6 seconds, not 3.
Yeah, Vapid has now closed up that gap. So he is now within 6 seconds. So this is now net P2 for Vapid Coupe. And of course he's got Constant Ryan behind him, who is on 3 seconds worth of penalties as well. So Vapid's in a very, very strong position here to get himself a good haul of points, guys.
Yeah, definitely. Second is nothing to be frowned upon, for sure. Depending on his tyre life now. You know, he's got fresh mediums. How fast and how well Cam's tyres hold up. There's not that much of a gap, but I'm looking at Constant Ryan, and he's managed to close 2 seconds within. He's running at about a second a lap faster than the medium, so he's just about to come up to the back of Vapid, I believe, in fact.
He is indeed. You can see the DRS open, the ERS being used as well by Constant Ryan. Look at the speed on those fresh softs. Makes it look easy. Vapid's going to try and see if he can keep a wheel in there, but he knows that it's better to just back out of that and look to stay within time of Constant Ryan.
As long as he stays within that 6 of Antive Beacon, he's guaranteed podium.
Indeed, he is. That will, of course, jump Vapid Coup up into P2. Adam Lee and Kizlesko having a little battle as well now. These guys have battled for the majority of this race. Kirby takes Papa Goose for P10. Whew. What a race this has been so far. Similar to last week in Australia. Could not breathe for action. We've had another absolutely cracking race here at the Yas Marina Circuit in Abu Dhabi. I told you I'm going to do it as many times as I possibly can, because I can.
Antive Beacon is also closing in on, well, he was closing in on Cam. Yeah, he still is.
He still is. 1.7 seconds is that gap between himself and Cam. That was about, I think, 2.5 seconds or so. I think it was about a lap or so ago. So Beacon is closing in on Cam.
What about Ryan? He's got 5 seconds to close in. He's got 5 seconds to pull back to get up to Antive Beacon and 3 laps to do it in.
Technically speaking, Swayze, all he needs to do is close up 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, for second, yeah.
For second place, he only needs to close up 1.5 seconds to Antive Beacon. You know what? We're going to do it. We're on lap 25, coming up towards the end of lap 25. We will ask both of the gentlemen in the party. We'll start off with Mr. Swayze. Who is your driver of the day, Mr. Swayze?
Oh, it's got to be Cam at the moment.
Would you agree with that, Mr. Gareth, or do you have someone else you would give in your driver of the day to?
I mean, it's difficult. Cam's had a cracking race, and he's proved me wrong with his tyre choice. But maybe, I mean, I'm looking at Adam Lee and Big Will as well. Both had very good races. Quite quiet, but good races nonetheless.
Indeed, they have. Oh, in terms of me, I think because of obviously the fact that he wasn't able to qualify, because he did jump into the session late, unfortunately, to get his car up to, at the moment, P6. It will probably drop down to P7 because of penalties. As it stands now, I think I'm going to be giving driver of the day to Adam Lee. He's had a fantastic drive to bring that car from 16th, as we said, started right at the back of the grid. Currently up in P6. Unfortunately, penalties are going to be his downfall. He's got 9 seconds of penalties at the moment, so that will enable Big Will to jump above him into P6. But even still, if you said to Adam Lee, you're going to get 9 seconds worth of penalties as he passes Kizlesko.
You know, sorry to interrupt,
P5.
this fight for third place is not over. Ryan's been pushing hard, and you know, I think he might have overheated or thinking with those softs. I mean, look at the Rapid, it's right there still. Even the minute he was down on 4/7 within that DRS zone. One slight mistake from Ryan, and Rapid could, you know, get him on track, let alone with the penalty.
He could indeed. Vapid Coup is, of course, within that 6 second frame of Antive Beacon, and at the moment within that 3 second gap of Constant Ryan. So as it stands, Vapid will obtain second place this evening. Constant Ryan will jump Antive Beacon into third. As you can see, Adam Lee now up into P5. As I say, he is going to drop a couple of positions. But I think if you said to Adam Lee at the start of this race, you were going to start at the back of the grid and you'd get yourself a P7, I think he'd be pretty happy with that. So I think that's why he gets my driver of the day. We are on the penultimate lap of this Grand Prix now. The leaders are down that first DRS straight. No one close enough to make any moves just yet. However, Big Will.
Yeah, Baffin's just
Maybe
falling out
able
of
to-
DRS. If Constant Ryan can get Anton Beacon and maybe put a car between them, he might be able to hold on to that in second place, depending on if Vapid loses the time behind him or not.
They will do. As we watch Will getting close to Kizletsko, who is in turn getting close to Adam Lee. Are they able to make moves just yet? No, not yet, but Kizletsko is so close. Here comes Kizletsko up the inside of Adam Lee. That is Kizletsko in the Alpine up into P5 now on track. He's going to come under pressure though from Adam Lee for this final lap of the race when we do English, when we do get round.
Shit. Ryan's broken to DRS and Anton
Oh,
Beacon's picked up another
Beacon!
penalty.
Oh, Beacon now has 9 seconds.
That could promote.
Kizletsko needs to really... No, Kizletsko would really need to push. Would really need to push. He needs to make about 3 seconds to be able to actually get into the fray here.
If Ryan and Beacon fight though, that could be the time that Kizletsko needs.
Yep, very well said. We are on the final lap of the Grand Prix now.
Ryan is in
WRS
DRS.
Cam leads. Ryan has got that DRS on Anton Beacon, as Swayze says. And he's pulling, and more importantly, he's pulling away from Vapid. Vapid did not get DRS. Adam Lee, though, is going to get DRS on Kizletsko. We're going to watch this one. Kizletsko tries to stick to the right side. Adam Lee pulls to the left with that rear wing advantage. That is Adam Lee back up into P5. But he's now going to come back under pressure from Kizletsko on this second. DRS straight. Is Kizletsko going to look to try and return the favour on Adam Lee? Here comes the overspeed. Not able to make the move though. Adam Lee holds on to P5.
Anton Beacon has been holding up Constant Ryan now for a good 4 corners. You can tell because of how close Vapid's got again.
But we are going to jump to WRS Cam in the Mercedes. He's going to take the final corner here in Abu Dhabi, and WRS Cam wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Vapid does jump up to second, and Constant Ryan picks up 3rd place following Anton Beacon's penalties. That drops Beacon down to P4. Kizletsko finishes in 5th. Big Will in 6th. Both of those guys jump Adam Lee, who finishes in 7th on penalties. Leclerc finishes in 8th. Tom Gorian, his car is now coming through. Cal picks up a 3-second time penalty. Tom Gorian finishes in 9th. Noodle in 10th. That is Kirby crossing the line in 11th. Just waiting for Papa Goose now. Papa Goose comes and crosses the line in P12. We just await now the Alpha Tauri of Christo and the Alpine of Cam. Have a quick look. It is going to finish like this. Christo crosses the line in P13 and Cal crosses the line in P14. Jamie is not happy. He is just...
Do you want a tidbit of information?
Yes, go for it, Gareth.
So, before the race started, Jamie said, Cam, he always picks up at least 1 penalty. Cam didn't pick up a penalty.
Cam did not pick up a single penalty. In fact, I'm going to be quite intrigued. I'm going to check the race director because I want to see whether he actually picked any warnings at all. We'll do that in just a second, but here is your driver recap. WRS Cam picks up the race win. Vapid Coupe finishes in 2nd. Constant Ryan in 3rd. Antis Beacon finishes in 4th. Kizletsko 5th. Big Will 6th. Adam Lee in 7th. Leclerc 8th. Tom Gore in 9th. Noodle rounds out your top 10. TM Kirby in 11th. Papa Goose finishes in 12th. Christo 13th. Cal in 14th. The last of the points finishers, unfortunately, losing Semper HD. And, of course, the man who is in the party with us at the moment in Mr. Water. Just have a look. Cam had 2 warnings. Cam was 1 warning away from a penalty. He was so close. So Jamie's prediction was almost right, but Cam was able to keep it in between the white lines and was able to pick up that all-important race win here in round 2 of SFR Season 5. Whew, what a race, gentlemen.
Yeah, definitely. Lots of action all the way through there. Unpredictability, crazy events. Definitely a great round for me to come back to.
Indeed it was. Let's see if we can get Mr. Vapid Coot and Mr. Constant Ryan into the party with us. There is Mr. Vapid Coot. Where is Mr. Constant Ryan? There is Mr. Constant Ryan. I'll send Cam an invite. I don't know whether Cam has a headset just yet or not. Who got driver of the day? I'm not going to join. Got to be up early. Not a problem, Cam. GG on the race win, my friend. Driver of the day was given to Adam Lee by the game, Jamie. I did agree with it. You got an honourable mention from Gareth as well as Big Will, and Swayze gave it to our race winner in Cam.
Yep.
But I believe we have been joined in the party now by Constant Ryan and Vapid Coot. Guys, make sure your audio is included. What a race. We will start with the man who finished in 3rd place, which was Mr. Constant Ryan.
Yo.
Shane, what a race. How did that go for you, mate?
Alright. I messed up qualifying so badly. Well, it's myself in the game I'm going to blame as well. It's kind of 50-50. But yeah, I was just terrible in Q3. But yeah, the race was really fun. Really good battle. Well done to Cam as well, because the hards around Abu Dhabi are just awful. They're the worst tires you could ever come across. So well done to him and Anthem as well, and Vapid. It was a really fun battle. Hard but fair, which is the way it likes it. Towards the end there with Vapid, I was praying he wouldn't battle me. He was like, just let me catch up to Beacon so I can get within the penalties. You can have second then. So I was kind of like, please don't battle me. And yeah, it paid off in the end. I'm surprised how close I got to Cam. When it comes to, like, I was only a pit stop behind and I caught right up to him. So yeah, the first half of the race I was fighting my monitor. Kept on saying it was going to power off. So I was driving with one hand, which was very interesting. But yeah, to recover to 3rd was pretty good. So I'll take that around Abu Dhabi, which I don't really get along with. And the goal was actually just to get a podium, which is what I got. So same with Singapore. My aim for my season really to start in France. So yeah, so far so good.
There we go. So to Jamie in chat has gone, Abu Dhabi is generally awful on this game. So I think Leclerc was having the similar sort of issues to you guys in terms of the track as a whole. Obviously, you said you were fighting with your monitor for the first half of the race. I'll be honest, it didn't show too much on the stream. You looked to have some really, really good battles there, of course, as you say, towards the end of the race. You had that fantastic battle with Vapid. We're going to quickly just touch on quali. As we say, as you know, myself and Swayze say it quite often, Constant Ryan doing Constant Ryan things. But obviously, this week, you weren't able to get yourself up onto that pole position. You say the game stuffed you a little bit. You mentioned it in chat. Do you want to just talk us through what had actually happened in Q3 for the guys who may not have noticed it?
Yeah, so at the end of the 2nd straight, there's like, before you turn in, there's no white line, so you don't know where the edge of the track is. And apparently I went over it, but how am I supposed to know I went over it if there's no white line to tell me? Now, I suppose you could say I could base it off the curb, but it's kind of hard to base off the curb when I've already gone past it. But yeah, it was really frustrating. I did a 33.3 in the last session before, and yeah, I don't know. I need to work on my overall commitment on laps because I feel like I'm not really delivering. Even in Australia, I should have done a 19. So yeah, I got to keep on working on stuff like that. But that's the fun of it. It's be no fun if it was easy. So I'm glad to recover from 3rd.
Very, very true. Swayze, anything from you, mate?
I mean, it was a good comeback driver. You were flying towards the end there on the softs, pulling back time at a rapid rate. So, you know, great drive overall. It's a shame that you weren't able to show us that 133 in qualifying. You know, we'd all love to have seen that, of course. But, you know, still good points for you in the championship, and I mean, plenty of time yet left to go in the season.
Oh yeah, it's a long way away. I technically did a 33 in Q2 because I did a 34.2 on mediums, which would have been a 33.6 on softs. So there you go. That's technically a 33, but even though it wasn't. But yeah, it's close enough. Close but no cigar. But yeah, look, P3. I'm happy with that, to be honest. There's no points in qualifying anyway. It's like, so it's the race that really matters.
Yeah, definitely. Well,
Gareth, anything from you, mate?
Pitting on softs. I said in the commentary for these guys that you should have pitted a lap earlier. Did you think that yourself, or do you think if you did pit a lap earlier for those softs, you would have been able to maybe get Antiv a lap earlier, or maybe 2 laps earlier?
No, because there were used softs, even though I saved a pair in qualifying. But you know, this game was great that way. New pair of tires just disappeared somewhere. Hamilton probably took them. But what was I going to say? I don't know, with the tyre wear at the end, Vapa could have got back past me, which could have had me back up. So I kind of didn't want to be on the softs for too long. So that's why I left them to the end on lighter fuel. I didn't want to do it in the middle of the stint because I know, softs are good for like 4 laps normally if you have too much fuel on. But they were pretty good towards the end there, even though I was comfortably quicker. I think another couple of laps of Vapa would have got back past me because just the way the tyre wear is. But yeah, I thought I pitted at the right time for it, to be honest.
Fair play. Fair play.
There we go. Thank you, Constant Ryan. 3rd place finish for you today. Hopefully it will have you join us in the podium interviews again next week in Singapore. Maybe a little bit later in the interview, but only time will tell on that. We shall move on now to the man who finished in 2nd place. The man who wanted to have his national anthem played after being on the top step on the podium. Technically speaking, his national anthem would have played. Unfortunately, it wouldn't have been for himself though. Vapid Coot, 2nd place. How did your race go, my friend?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised, no, honestly, because Abu Dhabi is not a track I've previously been very quick at. So the fact I was able to kind of get one better on Ryan, most of the other guys who have normally been quite quick at Abu Dhabi, I was generally pleasantly surprised. And yeah, I was just the whole pace in general over the weekend. I just seen I was better in race trim like I normally usually am, but the fact I was able to fight for the win and stay relatively close to the guys the whole race, I was I was very happy with it. So to come away with P2, I can't complain with that.
Good. Now I know you were in pre-season. You just picked up a new wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Was that race today on wheel, or were you back on the pad for league racing?
No, I'm still working with the wheel, so I'm still on the pad. And my work schedule's been getting busier and busier during the week, so I'm getting less and less time to practice the wheel as well, which isn't helping. So at the moment, I'm still on the pad until hopefully things die down again.
That's not a problem, but yeah, as you say, you're having big battles. You were getting close to Cam, but obviously you closed in on Beacon, you closed in on Constant Ryan. You had those battles with Cam at the start of the race, but weren't close enough to Cam come the end of the race where it really mattered. Were you sort of keeping an eye on the gap with the penalty situation in mind, and did you sort of have a chance to relax a little bit more when you saw Beacon picked up that 3rd penalty for that 9 seconds and sort of knew the sort of podium was on there for you, or?
To be honest, I knew when I was in the range of Beacon, I knew I was going to get it that easy, because the fact he had like 6 seconds, 9 seconds, I wasn't worried about Beacon. I was more just trying to focus on closing that gap as much as I could to Cam. I knew it was going to be a challenge, but I did think I had the pace to kind of close it right down to like 2 or 1 seconds. I was just hoping he was going to get a penalty, because he is quite notorious for picking up penalties, so I was going to be in golden prime spot if he had picked up a penalty to take that, but it wasn't meant to be. But overall, I don't regret my strategy I'd taken. The softs went really great for a long distance on race pace wise, so I was kind of glad to get them out of the way for the safety car restart because I knew my pace on the mediums and race trim was really good and I could go quite long. So overall, I'm just happy with how the race planned out. I couldn't do much more than that.
That's fair enough. Next week we go to Singapore. So it'll be a night race in Singapore. How are you feeling about Singapore? You had a chance to drive it yet this game?
I quite like Singapore, and it's one of those races that I've came so close to winning in the past, but always something's happened, and I came really close to winning it last season, but then me and Leclerc kind of had a bit of a coming together in the final lap, so I'm hoping to get a bit of redemption and finally get the win next week, but we'll wait and see.
We will indeed. We'll do it the other way around this time. We'll go to Mr. Gareth first, and then we'll finish off with Sways G. Anything from you to Mr. Vapid?
Great racing there, Vapid. Good to see you back racing as well. I know it's a long time since I've really had a chat with you. But I mean, overall, did you always? I mean, did that safety car mess up your strategy? Would you have done things differently?
Well, first of all, good to see you again, Warden. It's been a long time since I've last seen you, so good to see you first. Overall, the safety car didn't really mess it up because within a lap or two, I was going to be pitting anyway because I knew I was always focused to doing the 2 stops. So, if anything, I actually came out at the right time because I was going to be pitting anyway. So, overall, I can't really complain. I just did as much as I could that race. I wish that things had panned out a wee bit different where the guys on the hard tyres went as quick as they were, but overall, yeah, I'm happy from everything on my side.
Fair enough. And one more question, sorry. Swayze. There was a moment when you overtook Dom on when you had fresh tyres and you had you had fresh tyres and he had old tyres. Was there any thought of you just staying behind him just for a few laps? I know the overspeed from the DRS and everything here is really massive, but just to save up some of your ERS a little bit, or where you just thought like I just got to keep going.
I just had to keep going and going because I knew if I had stayed behind Noodle, who's had dead tyres, it was just going to hold me up. And if anything, when I did get past him, it wasn't exactly the best because he did slow down pretty a lot. I wasn't sure if he was letting me past or he was trying to fight. I wasn't too sure, but that kind of cost me a little bit of time. But I was glad to just get past him as soon as I did because I knew it was going to be crucial to trying to catch up the likes of Cat and Beacon, and obviously I knew Ryan was going to probably pit for softs, so I was trying to build much of a gap to him as well. So, yeah, I can't really say much more than that.
Fair enough. Congratulations on P2, buddy. I'll see if Swayze wants anything.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Warder. Yeah, let's as you ended there with talking about Ryan pitting for the softs, we'll just talk about that. At the end there, when he did come back past you, were you surprised that he didn't pull away? How you was able to stay pretty much on the back of him to almost the last 2 laps?
Not really, to be honest, because I knew Ryan was going to close up because the softs are just really powerful around here, but then they don't last any great length of time, hence why I never wanted to use it for my final stint, because I knew the undercut is quite powerful around here as well. So I could have, there was a couple more occasions I could have really overtook him, but then I was also thinking of the bigger picture of trying to catch up to Beacon and Cam and hopefully try and get in position to win the race at least. But so I just kind of stuck behind his DRS and just kept tugging along with him because I knew his tyres were going to die anyway because the softs are just, they don't last any great length of time. So
Fair enough. Well, again, as everyone else has said, congratulations on your P2. It's great to see you back up here on the podium. Hope to see you back up here again, especially continuing the battles with the man that I suspect Kieran is about to introduce.
Indeed. So of course, unfortunately, we haven't got Cam able to jump in with us this evening. He has unfortunately had to shoot off, but massive congratulations to WRS Cam 10 for the race win this evening. I am obviously again going to pass on a massive thank you to Mr. Warder, Mr. Garrett, for jumping in mid-race and giving myself and Swayze that little bit of additional insight into the world of Formula 1. Obviously a man I'm still very much learning a lot from in the world of commentary. in Mr. Gareth. So always an ability to work with him is a plus from my side. So thank you, G.
You're not wrong. I will second that.
It's a pleasure just to pop in, and thank you for allowing me. And you guys, you do a fantastic job. So, especially today, it's always difficult, but you've done. I always think you guys do a great job, and I don't feel like I'm better than you. You guys, in my opinion, are probably better than me.
We definitely appreciate that, Gareth. But that is, of course, going to bring us to the end of our stream this evening. A massive thanks to every single one of you for popping in and watching, and of course all of the support you guys do constantly give to SFR. It is greatly appreciated. Double race weekend next week. We have got round 2 of season 1 of the SFR ACC Championships. We will be live from Belgium at the Zolder circuit starting at 8 PM. It will be myself along with Matty Vallinder on commentary. And then, of course, next Saturday, 8 PM UK time, we will be live from the Marina Bay circuit in Singapore. But until next time, ladies and gents, from myself, Kieran92, and TES Swayze, along with, of course, Warder and everyone associated with SFR, thank you so much for watching, guys. We will see you next week. Good night.